Hi folks, welcome to part 2 of this Luthier's Lair series detailing a piece of merch that I'm making from a little merch store. It's called the Gazzbass Wine Table. Yes indeed. If you saw part 1, when part 1 detailed the making of the base, pun intended, of the table, which is going to be a bass guitar shaped wine table with slots for wine glasses, wine bottle, and some interior trickery that I'm hoping to implement. So yeah, this episode we're going to be dealing with making the actual central pillar that will contain some tricks and fancy stuff, you know. So we will get on with that immediately. I'll show you the actual plan that I made for it. Very simple, but very effective as well. And we'll get right onto that right now, and we'll have a look at the plans. Then we'll set up the CNC machine for cutting. And cutting this central pillar shouldn't take long at all. It should take about 12 to 15 minutes actually to fabricate the parts for the central pillar. So let's get cracking. So here we are. I have a Shapeoko 4XL CNC machine, and for this project I just need to use their Carbide Create Pro CAD software to design these things, because I'm doing one-sided cuts. With bases, when I make bases, I use Fusion 360, which allows me a much more accurate job, and also to be able to do two-sided carving or cutting. So, but Carbide Create Pro is more than capable of doing this job, much more capable. As you can see, I've got 4 panels here. Now, these shapes here, here and here are for reference only. This is the bottom of the pillar, and it will be a 4.5-inch square piece that is embedded inside the column for structural support and to support other things that I'm going to be putting inside the actual pillar itself. This one here will be where the wine bottle comes down to, and of course there's a space in there for some trickery. And the top one will be a square with a big hole in it so the wine bottle can fit in it. And again, actually this will have dowels coming out of it to fix the tabletop too. And I've just drawn in these other squares for reference only. They are not getting machined. The only thing that is getting machined here is the perimeter of each piece and this part here, which is a little pocket. And I need this little pocket here because I'm going to be putting some stuff inside the column, and this little pocket is just to accommodate a certain piece I want to put in there. So let's have a quick look at the tool paths. As you can see there, and yeah, it's about 20 minutes it's going to take. I can ramp this up a little bit if I want during production, but I'm going to go conservative right now, as I did on the prototype. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bevel these edges to 45 degrees so that when I cut all these pieces out, they will fit nicely together. You know, I'm not using a straight edge join. I did that on the prototype, and then I put trim on the outside to hide the straight edge join, and it looks fantastic. I'll still probably put trim on the edges. This one is called the board pocket, so that might give you a clue of what I'm going to be putting in there. And then I cut the perimeter out after that. So let's have a look at the, this shows up best. We'll do a simulation in MDF. It's just a colour that they use, and we'll show the simulation including all the tool paths and the rapids, and it will give me a 3D rendition of the actual job, as you can see there. That's it there. And if I get rid of the tool paths and rapids, you can see where the job's going to start and where the tool's going to go. You will see that little pocket there, right there. and when I rotate the job you'll see the tabs there. The tabs are there so that the piece doesn't fly out off the table when I'm cutting. So the tabs hold the job in place, and then when the job's finished I'll take the piece of wood off and I will just use a tiny little hacksaw blade to go through those tabs and sand them down. That's all it takes, really. So that's the job there. So let's get to the CNC machine and clamp the piece down, which is actually 1/4 inch thick birch ply. So let's go take a look at that. Cool. So folks, here we are at the CNC machine. I've placed the workpiece in situ. This is the inside walls of the column that I'm going to be making for the table. Okay, now it's clamped. There's a little gadget here, and I'll show you what that's all about in a minute. This segment might take a little time because I want to go through what it is to set up this machine. And I'm going to be swiveling the camera back and forth between the computer on my right here and the workpiece. So we go to the computer. I have a program called Carbide Motion running, which is part of the Shipoko line of software, and it's asking me to connect to the cutter, so I will. And then it's going to initialize the machine. So let's initialize it. Okay, now the computer is asking me to insert a tool. Now I already have an 8-bit spiral down cut end mill in there. I don't want to use that, I want to use a probe. I want to use a probe, and that's where this little gadget's going to come in. Right there on the end of the machine there. So I'm going to take this end mill out, which is in there from the last job I did. Put that back in its tray. I'm going to take this exactly machined 1/4 inch dowel, steel dowel, and put that in the collet. And we'll just tighten that up. Now it's going to go and measure that. So let's go back to the computer and hit resume. You'll see the machine's going across, and this is actually zeroing the bit in height. Bit setter it's called. Carbide 3D call it a bit setter. This is going to go to the center again. Okay, now we're going to go back to the computer and we're going to load a file. Okay, I like to load the file at this point. You don't need to, but I like to. Wine base box, that's what I want. So I've loaded that. I'm going to look at isometric view just to make sure that's the right job. Yes, it is. I will close that. I'll say done. I'm going to go to the jog menu up here. It's going to ask me if I want to measure the tool. No, we've already done that, so we'll skip those 2 bits. And what we're going to do now is going to use these controls to put the probe bit that I just inserted into the collet over what's called the bit 0, which is that little device that I showed you, and it will calibrate the machine for the exact 0 on a square piece of wood. So in order to get it across there quick, I'm going to increment that fast. You use the X control first, and bit 0's in shot there, yeah. And we just roughly get this X-axis in place. There's a little hole in this device, which is where the where the probe plunges into. So I'll make sure the Y-axis there, that's fairly close, and the Z-axis or Z-axis. Come down. I'm going to stop it there. It's just above the hole. It needs to be adjusted a little bit more. I like to get it kind of precise. Okay, and the Y, it's kind of hard to try and not getting shot here. Okay, and now the Z, I have to take the probe right into that hole, yeah, and that's good. Okay, so this thing's in place. I usually do hold it. Hold on, I'm going to flip this, see where I am. I'm going to center this, and we'll zoom in a little bit so that you can kind of see what's going on there. This is in the way, obviously, but what happens, let me actually move the camera so you can see what's going on here. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of difficult. You see? Yeah, it's there. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the computer again and I'm going to probe this. Okay. But before I do that, I'm going to use this lead here and attach it to the collet so that I'm completing a circuit in here. Okay. I'll just hold that in position because it's just sitting there, and I will begin the probe. So it goes down, sorry about that, it goes to the left, and you see the light turning red when it makes contact. So it's checking all four sides there, and it will centre itself. That's the point of doing this. And then it's going to check the height. And of course the point of doing this is to tell the machine exactly where it is. And that's the probing done. So we're finished with the bit 0. We'll take that out of the way. Sorry about that. And we'll get the camera reset back. Sorry about all this fuss. I'm not really a good camera operator, right? So that's it. Now we can run the job. Run, start job, and then I'll go to the computer there. There's the start job screen. I'll hit start. And it's going to ask me for the first bit to put in, which is a V-carve bit. I want to make 45-degree chamfers so that I can connect all the sides of the boxes together properly without using nails or screws or anything like that. So it's going to be seamless. What I'll do now is I will change out this tool. Get rid of the probe, and this is a new V-carve bit. I hope it's okay. Oh, that's stiff. Come on. Actually, I'm going to check the collet for dust. And it's fine. I'll put that back in there. It's always good to check the collet for dust in case it slackens the bit as you're running the job. That is very tight. Oh man. That should do it. Okay. And I'm going to tighten that up. And I like to do a 2 movement in this. Put it there and go, hold on. There we go. Okay. Go. 1, 2. That's it in there, and it's not going anywhere. So now what I can do is resume here on the computer. Resume. Now it's going to measure the length of that bit. Back it goes to the middle there of the job. Now it's asking me to set the spindle speed to 18,000 RPM to start the job. I'm not going to put the dust shoe on here. It's going to be a bloody mess, but you'll be able to see the job happening. And I'll run the job a little bit at normal speed, and then I'll go to time lapse. So That's it set at 18,000. There we go, and resume. Okay, time lapse. Yeah, sucks. Life sucks. My main camcorder is done. It's all gone. Lasted a long time though, but you know, it's done. So I'm just wondering if this is getting filmed correctly, or I'll have to reverse it in post-process. We'll find out. I don't know why they make front-facing cameras and phones reversed. Of course, this is an Android phone. So there you go. See you in a bit. Bye. Yeah, so now I'm filming on my phone. I might just stick to that actually. It's probably the best thing. Getting a good tripod for it is a pain in the ass, but never mind. Whatever. Anyway, so I've got one panel in here, and if you recall, I did dig a pocket in one of the panels, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some holes in this wood, and I'm also going to put some engravings in it. So wonder what that could be. Scratchy chinny. Yes, I wonder what it could be. Well, let's go and find out. Let's start the job up. I'll get it all set up, and then we'll go into the job and you'll see what I mean. Okay? Cool. So here we are. Wonder what this could be. See that? I wonder what's going there. I do wonder. Is this back to front? I can never tell. It's like back to front. Anyway, God, I hate phones. Just give me a camera that shoots the right way, you know. Anyway, we'll go figure that out, and I'll come back and I'll show you this getting sized up on something, okay? Yes. Yeah, so what the hell's this? Well, this is a prototype board I've been working on. That's an Arduino Nano microcontroller there. It's an MP3 player module that I've got, and I did some C programming to get this to kind of work. And I will play a bit of a tune, you know, not so much that I'll get a copyright strike, but let's... You get the idea. You can go, hello, hello, how are you doing? And it will react to noise and lights and stuff, and it will go into a distinct pattern, you know, a standard pattern, until music or noise is heard, and it will detect it. That is what this panel is for. Okay, so what I do is I'm going to size it up now. Shush. Go forward one, please. Turn the volume down. Turn the volume back up. Forward one. Oh, go back one. And that's what that's all about. So this is all going to get built in. That's a prototype. That'll all get shortened and onto a PCB. And it'll be inside the column. I'll play MP3s and have reactive lights shine through the wine bottle. Shine through the wine bottle. Amazing. So that'll be a lot of fun, right? I better pause that before I get copyright strike. It's terrible, eh? But there you go. That's what that piece was for. And on the inside of this, of course, is a little bevel, so that when I do lift that board up, there'll be a place, you know, right there to put the SD card instead of having to, you know, reach in to get it, you know. Awesome. Well folks, that's it for part 2 of this little series detailing the Gazzbass Wine Table. Sorry about all the technical faux pas and difficulties. I'll be building some more of these, so I'll shoot some footage to show you how the body was made and stuff like that at a later date. But for now, we'll push on. And if you like what you see in the channel here, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Give me a thumbs up, and it just remains for me to say the usual: stay safe, be good, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching folks. Cheers. Bye bye.